Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. SonicWeb Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even love and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes, Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is a key ingredient for the holiday season. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss grandma's meatballs, huh? The holidays are coming. And what better time to give a gift for remembrance that makes you laugh and cry out at the same time? Whatever gift of grandma's recipes, or just because those smiles and tears will just melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809, or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. And also check out the Mike Wagner Show over 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to check out the merchandise at themikewagnershow.com. And also check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise on Amazon.com under the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, and a lot more. Makes great gifts for family and friends 24/7. And don't forget to check out the Mia Molson-Zia store at Amazon for great books like Missing, Once, Wrinkles, and for more great merchandise like T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and a lot more. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mia Molson-Zia store. Make sure you purchase today. And don't forget to also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, as well as PayPal at the Mike Wagner Show. And don't forget to support us generously at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you donate generously today. We're here with a terrific lady who is a singer, songwriter, and a pianist, and is working on becoming a successful actress. And the story behind this and why this is special is that her mom was killed during 9/11 when she was 2 and raised by her dad. And she also has an album all called Damage as well, too. And it just has a lot of promise here. And it's got a great message to it. And she's also got some great works as well, too. More up and coming. This is one of the up and coming artists that you want to really look out for. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios, somewhere in the East Coast, around New York, New Jersey area, ladies and gentlemen, the very multi-talented singer, songwriter, and the terrific Aro Rose. Aro, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. And thanks for being on as well, too. You got an amazing story. You're a singer, songwriter, pianist, and you also are working becoming a successful actor, which I could tell you're going to be. And you have a really interesting story as well, too, that your mom was killed during 9/11 when you were 2 and also raised by your dad. And of course, you know, this is the time as well, too, 20th anniversary. We'll talk more about that. You also have a new album I'll call, which is Damaged as well. It's available on all the streaming platforms, and you just have a great story behind it. And before getting into all that, Aro, tell us how you first got started.
Well, actually, it's kind of a funny story a little bit because for my first birthday, my mom bought me a grand piano because she always wanted me to do music and she always wanted me to learn how to play the piano.
Oh, wow.
And so she kind of actually really, I guess, started my whole musical journey because I don't honestly think I would have ever really taken up piano if it wasn't for her buying me the grand piano. So after she passed, I wasn't really too interested in it as a kid, but as I got a little bit older, I started playing more and I took lessons. And I really just, kind of started playing around and I just fell in love with the whole idea of music and I fell in love with the piano. So it kind of, began from there.
That's rather interesting as well, too. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your life? What was that one precise moment for you?
I would have to say I just really believe that um just music really touches people's souls, and I just feel like it's so special, and it's like one of the most special things in the whole world. And I never really connected with much really besides music. In my life, I was never a good student. I was really bad in school. I really never had any hobbies besides the piano and music. So it's just something I felt like I was just kind of called to do. And I just realized that this is what I want to pursue. This is my dream. This is what, I love. And it's, it's a hard career. And, people get a lot of no's and stuff. And people kind of look at you and they're like, oh, you want to do music? That's kind of crazy. But, you know, um, I just decided to pursue it and, follow my dreams.
Hmm. And that sounds rather interesting as well, too. And who are some of your favorite artists, singers, songwriters, and especially pianists, for you while you're growing up?
Wow, I love Adele. She's definitely like one of my probably greatest inspirations. I've been listening to her since I was a kid. She's just musically incredible. Her voice is incredible. Her lyrics are incredible. I listened to a lot of Eminem growing up, a lot of Lana Del Rey. Just, and I love classic rock too. I love Pink Floyd. I love the
Hmm.
Stones. Yeah, that's also been like a crazy inspiration to me
Oh,
because
yeah. One of my favorites. Definitely. Definitely.
yeah, I love classic rock. So, I kind of incorporated some of that into my music. A lot of my songs have like electric guitars and rock drums, and um just because I always loved classic rock. I've always loved rock. I've always loved that whole entire world. It was always so fascinating to me. Even as a child, I was always so fascinated with rock stars and the music and the lifestyle. So, that definitely probably fueled the fire to my passion for music.
Hmm. And of course, I was thinking about as well too, going through a classic rock stage as well too, with some of the operas out there, like with the Who's Tommy, Quadrophenia, and of course you had Pink Floyd, The Wall, which I remember going to a midnight theater. That
Incredible.
was a big thing. Oh my gosh, that was so incredible. Oh, it
The
was.
Comfortably Numb is probably one of my favorite songs of all time. I love Comfortably Numb. I think it's like has the greatest guitar solo of all time in the song. I mean, that guitar solo is just phenomenal. I'm like, it's incredible. So I really, it's just something, like I said, is so special. And it's just always something I've been so passionate about. And I loved it. So, I was always just been fascinated with all of it.
Mhm. It does sounds fascinating. You also talked about being a pianist as well too. Who are some of your favorite, classical pianists, concert pianists, or even like say, keyboardists in the world of music and especially rock?
I would say, I did learn a lot of classical music. I would probably say honestly Beethoven was kind of a big inspiration to me because I could play Furlise and like Moonlight Sonata. I mean, not that well, but it's still cool. I love that kind of just like those piano sonatas I think are so beautiful and so touching. So I really just love his work.
Mm, that's fascinating. And then has anyone ever told you, being a concert pianist as well too? Has that ever been in the back of your mind, or just simply stick to the music you're doing?
um I wouldn't say that I'm that classically trained, to be honest with you. I did take a few lessons when I was a child, but I was a little bit rebellious, to be honest. So I didn't really like the lesson. So I kind of ended up pretty much teaching myself and teaching
Huh?
myself chords. I can't read music, believe it or not. I cannot read a single note. If you put like a sheet of piano music in front of me, I would not be able to read it. I only play by ear. So all the
Oh.
songs that I've created were on the piano, but um I created all the melodies just by ear. So I would write down the chords, but other than that, I cannot play a sheet of music to save my life. So
I can imagine playing Beethoven's done, done, done. I'm done.
yeah, it's honestly every all of the Beethoven songs that I have learned, I had to listen to and then try to find the melody on the piano, and then that's how I learned the song. Like the whole Moonlight Sonata, I can't read, like I said, an inch of music, but if I hear a melody, I'll be able to play it on the piano. So that's kind of how I worked everything out. But I wish I was classically trained because I think it'd be more helpful to read music, but I was just, I guess, too rebellious and I didn't want to learn. I
Hmm.
regret it now, though. Now that I'm older, I regret
Hmm.
it.
And of course it's common as well too. People go through different paths and everything. And when you talk about going by ear and everything, the one musician that brings to my mind is Peter Gabriel. It's that, he's got imagination
I
just in
love
his
Peter
head. And also,
Gabriel.
everything he does is like he does everything by ear and his mind. That's the whole thing. It's like whatever is in his whole system, it just comes right out in a magical way. Peter Gabriel is the first musician that makes me think of when you go things by ear.
Really? I had no idea he didn't know how to read music because that's really, and I believe Jimi Hendrix didn't know how to read music. I'm pretty sure he was all self-taught. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure, but I'm not too sure. But I think Jimi Hendrix is all self-taught. But yeah, I love Peter Gabriel. I love 80s and 90s music. It's
And of course,
awesome.
nowadays you can be able to teach yourself just about a lot of things. So I think you pretty much blaze a trail there, Arrow. So you got that. So
Yeah, I guess it's good in a way. I mean, at least I could still play. So
That's amazing as well too. And we'll talk about your latest release, Damaged, and some of your works in just 1 minute. But first, listen
mhm.
to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundWeb Studios. Visit online at SoundWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even often endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many
Oh.
others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by a picture of this photo books. Remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss grandma's meatballs, huh? The holidays are coming, and what better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift for grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books. Bring your memories back to life. The whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show on over 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter today at the Mike Wagner Show. Check out the great merchandise at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also on Amazon.com under the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, and a lot more. Makes great gifts 24/7. And don't forget to check out the Mia Molson-Zia store on Amazon for great merchandise like T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, and also great books like Missing, Ones, Wrinkles, and more. Check out the Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia store today. And don't forget to also support the Mike Wagner Show generously at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Click on donate. And don't forget to support us on Anchor FM/support and PayPal at the Mike Wagner Show and Mike Wagner voiceover. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific singer, songwriter, and pianist, and working to become a successful actress, Aro Rose, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we talk about your latest release, Damage, a little bit of backstory behind it. That this is a time of year where it's the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Your mom was killed during 9/11 when you were 2 and raised by our dad. And of course, maybe you can just give us a background on it. And of course, everybody's got a story to share, especially on the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, especially the 20th anniversary coming up. It's a little rough. But I kind of live with it every day. So I mean, I guess you could say every day is kind of like 9/11, I guess, because I mean, um, I still don't have her, but I guess it's a nice day for everybody to remember everybody that passed away. So it's nice that people still don't forget and still embrace the day and the people that died. It's really nice that people come together on that day. But
Mhm.
yeah, I would say that's probably the whole point about Damaged, is that I really just, the whole meaning behind it is that even though that you're hurting and that you feel like you're not okay and that you feel like you're damaged, I think it's important to keep trying and follow your dreams, even though it may hurt, even though you may live with a broken heart every day, no matter what you've gone through, whether it was a loss or heartbreak or something else in your life. I think it's important to not give up. and to continue to follow your dreams and to continue to follow your passions. So that's really the whole meaning behind Damaged.
And also too, where was your mom on that day as well too? Was she up in the towers at work? Was she like outside the
Yeah.
towers, or where was she at the time, and where was she working?
She worked for a law firm. She was on the 104th floor, I believe.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
sh Yeah, she was up there. Um, she loved her job. She was actually in the first terrorist attack that I believe happened in the late 90s. I'm not too sure because I wasn't born, but I'm pretty sure she was in the first terrorist attack that they bombed one of the towers, and she came out, and everything, she was good. I don't uh she really loved her job, and my dad was like, "Don't go back to work, like, they're probably gonna hit the towers again. Um, don't go back." But she, just like everybody else, she had a passion. She really loved her job. She loved it so much. It was her whole life. So she didn't want to give it up. She didn't want to give it up. So she went back to work, and a few years later, um, 9/11 happened. But, I guess you could say she died doing what she loved. I mean, I don't think she had any regrets about going back to her job. She really didn't want to give it up. So, I think she was brave, for going back into the towers even after that first attack happened in the 90s. So I think, it's a brave
hmm
thing to do.
hmm And also too, I'd be willing to share my story as well too of 9/11, where I was driving my son to his school. I worked at the school at the same time, and all of a sudden I heard a news report cut in. I was ready to take down a number for an ad I was interested in, and it said
Yeah.
special report. And then when they said that the World Trade Center got, one of the airplanes hit, and I thought at first, it's like I said, is this some kind of joke? It's like, why would a plane
I
crash
know.
into a World Trade Center? Is this a publicity stunt? Is it a
Or an
joke?
accident.
Or
People
it's
thought
like,
it was an accident, my dad said
or
too.
of course it could have been concocted by Howard Stern. He loves to do those
Right, like
things.
a
And
hoax type of thing. You're right, right, right. Yeah.
right, and exactly. And I thought to myself, why would somebody run a plane into the World Trade Center? That, and then 10
Yeah.
minutes later, it's just like, a second plane hits the World Trade. And I thought, what's with these people and these pilots? And then the third one hit, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Seriously. It's like, did the radars go ballistic? Was there
Yeah.
something wrong with the planes or something? And then the fourth
Mm.
was ready to go at the Pentagon, but then you had all these
I
brave
know they took
people.
it down. Yeah.
Yeah, and then all the brave people that got up on the plane, they went up to terrorists, they took pillows and start beating them up, and then the terrorists
Wow.
just gave up. It's like, 50, 100 people on a plane that's heading towards the Pentagon crashed in a
I
field in
know.
Pennsylvania. So it's
No,
like,
those people are heroes. Oh my God, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, the bravery that all those people had to endure is just it just blows my mind.
and of
Yeah.
course I think about pillows as well too. I like to take a pillow to a terrorist and just beat him like that too. So it's like, now you gotta think, it's like pillows are definitely a good weapon and greatly appreciated. So that was one of the things I heard on the radio too. And then going into
Yeah.
work, one of the guys that I worked with, that his cousin or second cousin worked in accounting, that was in the World Trade. I think it was the 40th or 50th floor. But the
Oh
thing
wow.
was that he called in sick that day, and someone
Oh
else came
yeah.
in, and that guy just said he really felt guilty and felt bad for the guy who came to fill in. And then 9/11 happened. It was like, that could have been him. I mean, he really felt
Yeah, of
bad calling in
course.
sick. And then I had another guy whose clients were up in the 120th floor, which is like
Wow.
an export trading company. And of course, the guy I worked with was having a tough time with these deals, and he was looking for the big one, the multi-million. And here we go, he was ready to seal the deal. And by the time they're ready to close the deal, full lines went dead. Yeah, hit. The deal
Mhm.
was gone in an instant. So to the point I'm trying to tell everybody has a story about 9/11, directly or indirectly, or it could be like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, all the way down the board, that could have been affected in some way. And I'll tell you one
Yeah.
thing, the point is, everybody's got a story when it comes to 9/11.
Yeah, it's a little tough because I guess I kind of have to relive it every year, which is, a little rough. Because it's hard, but then all these stories get brought back up, and all the photos and the videos come back out, and it's just It's a little hard. I'm usually okay during the year. I mean, it's still tough, but I guess when everyone um is always posting the photos, I don't mind talking about it, but I would say I really don't like watching the videos and the photos. I really that's not really something I, obviously like doing, but it's good that everyone has, could somewhat relate and bond over this very, traumatic thing that happened. I feel like it actually brings people closer sometimes. I feel like trauma could really bring people close, and it just, shows that everybody goes through something. So it helps if people are just like a little bit more compassionate or empathetic. So
Mhm.
yeah.
And of course, especially with your song "Damage" as well too, that should bring a bit more understanding and
Yeah.
or I could say maybe like a bit of a closure or bring more light to what really happened, like with 9/11 affecting
Yeah,
a
of
person.
course.
Hmm.
Oh, right, of course. I mean, Damaged, I really wanted to be about anything. I mean, it could be about 9/11, but I really wanted just to people to, I guess, bond and relate over any traumatic thing that has ever happened to them. Like I said, it doesn't matter what it is. Everybody deals with pain and trauma differently. So I think, having a song that expresses that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay to have heartbreak, but you should try to overcome that heartbreak and all that pain and turn it into whatever you want, whether it's art or something positive or something good or to help other people. I just think it's a good way of showing that even though you're hurting, you
Hmm.
can still pursue your dreams and you could still find love and find peace somehow, even though it's hard, because it is hard. It's never easy. Anything in life is really not that easy.
Hmm. Right. I do get your point. Understand what you're saying. And also besides with "Damage" as well too. And what are some of the other songs that you got out right now and what's currently in the pipeline for you?
Well, actually, Damage is coming out the 29th, and no other songs have dropped yet. But I do have a second single dropping called Tarrant. I wrote it about Alice in Wonderland. It's like one of my favorite movies in the world. I love Alice in
Oh,
Wonderland.
really?
Yeah, it's one of my I'm actually doing a photo shoot for it this week to do promo pictures, and we're dressing as the characters, and it's going to be really, really cool. But a lot of my inspiration I get is actually from like movies I really love. So it's a pretty cool song. It's very Alice in Wonderland. I was always hoping that like maybe Tim Burton would come across it one day because he's like my favorite director, and I really like wanted to honor him with this song. And just because I think he's just a genius in everything he does. I just love his movies, and I just love the whole idea of being weird and being you and stuff like that. So I hope people like this song. I think people will like this song. It's a pretty interesting song.
And what's it called? Tarrant?
Terrence, it's the name of the Mad Hatter. So I guess if you're like an
Oh,
Alice in
okay.
Wonder, yeah, because everyone calls him Mad Hatter, but his real name is Tarrant. And I don't think there's a song out there called Tarrant. So I just thought it was a unique name. And yeah, I think people will enjoy it. It's a pretty interesting song. It has more of a rock vibe.
Hmm. Is he one of your favorite character? Who's your favorite character in Alice in Wonderland?
Probably the Mad Hatter.
Oh, okay. I
That's
haven't
right.
like
Yeah.
I haven't like is it Cheshire the cat because I'm a cat
I
lover and
love
it's
the
like
cat.
it's like
I love the
what
cat.
things aren't real as they seem or what was that line he always said? Things aren't
Yeah,
as
I
real as they
think
seem.
things aren't as real as they seem. It's funny because I actually have a few quotes from the movie in the song. One of it's okay to be mad because the best people are. And I think it's interesting because we always try to be very normal or act, kind of normal, you know what I mean? But I think everyone has a different way of expressing themselves, and it's kind of like another way of like accepting your personality and accepting that people are different and charismatic and funny and strange, maybe you can even call it, if you want to call it strange. But that's why I loved him so much, is because in all his movies he expresses his personality in all of his characters. So I just think it's really, really interesting. So I'm hoping that people will resonate with the song a little bit.
As it does sound interesting. You're also working becoming a successful actor or actress as well too, and tell us more about that.
Yeah, I went to Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute for 3 years. I studied method acting, which is really interesting because method acting is tough. I mean, at least for me, it was tough
Hmm.
because I would say it's emotionally draining. Like every day you would have to go, you would have to really kind of dig into your head and pull out all these emotions that you really don't want to pull out, because method acting is really about putting yourself into a character and really becoming that character and using your own emotions. So technically it's not really acting because you're using your real raw emotion. You're just playing someone else.
Hmm.
So method acting, it is hard. It's hard because like I said, it's emotionally draining sometimes
Hmm.
when you have to constantly pull out all these emotions and change and uh it's but it's very interesting and I love it, and it's definitely something I would really love to pursue in the future.
And what drew you into method acting?
um I love Marilyn Monroe. and
Oh.
and Lee Strasberg was actually a mentor to Marilyn. She I believe she was one of his first students, and she lived with him, I believe, for a while. And a lot of the great legendary people have studied under method acting. I believe Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Angelina Jolie, Lady Gaga. Like it's just I can't even think. Gene Wilder. Just so many. Dustin Hoffman, I believe, is a method actor that studied at Lee Strasberg. So many amazing, amazing people that inspired me to pursue the method acting.
Mhm. And there's one person I could think of is Jackie Gleason, going back to the days of like the beginning of method acting. He was just unbelievable. You think he's a loudmouth all the time, but then when he actually does
Yeah,
his orchestra,
it's crazy.
he's a really gentle person. I mean, amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing how people can just transform. I believe Jack Nicholson is a method actor. I mean, it's just really crazy how people can just completely transform themselves. That's why I think it's so interesting to play different characters, is because you get to learn things about yourself that you never even knew existed, like an emotion, a feeling, a personality. It's really cool. You kind of like really dive deep into yourself, and it's interesting. That's for sure. It's
It
an
does sound
interesting thing.
it does sound interesting. And who are you some of your other favorite actors and actresses growing up?
Um, Probably my favorite actor has to be Johnny Depp. I love Johnny Depp just because I grew up watching him, in Tim Burton movies. I grew up, and all his personalities and everything that he plays was so authentic and so real and beautiful. And I love everything he's done. I love his work. So it's very inspiring for me. It has inspired me to act, definitely, like 100%. So.
That's interesting. What's your favorite Johnny Depp movie?
I have way too many, but I'd probably say Edward Scissorhands.
That's like his first one, wasn't it?
It was one of his first ones. Yes,
Oh
I
my
love Edward
gosh.
Scissorhands. I think it's great. He played Ed Wood, which is also really, really good. He's just done a lot of really awesome work. So I just really look up to that.
And
And
of
he
course,
played Mad Hatter.
oh yeah, that's right. Who cannot
And he
forget
was in
that?
Alice in Wonderland. How could you forget that?
I still enjoy him in Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know why. So
Me too. I know. He's a legend, really. I mean, Jack Sparrow, the way he created that character, that's why I think it's so amazing. Actors are just incredible people, because to create a personality from really nothing and just to create a whole new person, I feel like that's just such amazing talent. It's really incredible. So,
hmm,
yeah, I love it.
that is something. And how about some of your favorite movies growing up?
Favorite movies. I love The Great Gatsby. I always loved, like, the older style movies or movies that were set in a different era. I love movies like that. I always found that very fascinating. I loved Marilyn Monroe movies, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, all that kind
Who
of stuff.
doesn't?
I know. I love just cinema in general. So it's just a world I would love to be a part of if I ever got the honor to be a part of that world. um I would love it so much.
It definitely sounds like you got an amazing career ahead of you. And in the meantime, where can we find all your works and all your music at, Arrow?
My website will be out in about a week. It'll be arrowrose.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Amanda Rose O'Connor, and my music video too, my Damaged music video is coming out on YouTube in on the 29th. So you can find me on YouTube at Aro Rose.
We certainly would do so. And what's coming out for the amazing Aro Rose in 2021 beyond, we'll find out just a minute. You listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by SoundWeb Studios. Visit online at SoundWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Molson's Yet Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Also brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is a key ingredient. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Widener Show, get 10% off your first order during the Christmas season. And we'll be back with the multi-talented Aro Rose after this timeout. We're back with the amazingly multi-talented Aro Rose, singer, songwriter, pianist here on the Mike Widener Show, and look for her release "Damage" to be coming out as well too. And we also talked about the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and speaking of 2021 and beyond era, what can you expect from you in the future?
Well, I would love to release my album. Hopefully, I definitely will. But I think we're trying to lean for more of the end of September. That will have 11 songs on it, and probably more music videos for sure. I'm actually performing at a 9/11 concert event. So that will be nice. That's going to be like my first real performance.
Nice.
So I'm really looking forward to that. A lot of great people will be there. So that'll be really awesome. So yeah, hopefully I'll get more performances in the future.
That sounds great. We're certainly looking forward to it, Aro. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence in my career. I would possibly have to say it would probably be Eminem and Johnny Depp, probably.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty good. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I would have to say always follow your heart, no matter what people tell you, no matter what people say. At the end of the day, it's your life and it's your passion and it's your dream. And I just believe that you should never give up. You should never give in to the no's or the doubt that people have, because there's always going to be doubt and negativity. But at the end of the day, you have to do what makes you happy and you have to follow your heart.
And that's very important as well, too. Once again, the multi-talented singer, songwriter, pianist, and upcoming actress, Aro Rose here on the Mike Widener Show. Aro, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon.
Thank
Do us
you
a
so
favor,
much,
keep us up to
Mike.
date, and don't forget to keep in touch, and look forward to having you again soon. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your works?
Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely arrowrose.com and my YouTube, Aro Rose.
Sounds good. We're looking forward to it. Once again, Aro, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. You've been absolutely terrific, and we definitely wish you all the best. You've got a great future ahead of you.
Thank you for having me, Mike.